you.
Gee, thanks.
So with the countless Resident Evil 2 Remake gameplay trailers that have been showcased recently, I just want to break down some of Ada Wong's gameplay trailer footages and see what changes they've made in the new RE2 Remake story so far. So for those longtime Resident Evil 2 fans, we all remember Ada Wong to have a pivotal role in Leon's playthrough in the original game, seeing her assist a rookie cop through the many environments of the classic Resident Evil 2. But with the new footages that we've seen so far, I just wanted to take a closer look and see what changes the developers from Capcom have made and see what's new with Ada Wong and the story that surrounds her character. Anyways, what is up you guys, this is DeVuH, and in this video we'll delve into some aspects how the story that surrounds Ada Wong has changed, in terms of a sequence in the storyline, to some of his set pieces, and to the overall interaction with Leon and Annette Birkin. We'll also refer back to the original Resident Evil 2 and compare and contrast the events that we've seen so far with the new Resident Evil 2 Remake's version. So starting off, we see Ada Wong save Leon's life when the Cerberus attempted to ambush him in the RPD's underground parking lot. This is already a big difference in how they meet compared to the original Resident Evil 2, because in the original version, Ada's persona is much more aloof, and that she tells Leon that she's there looking for her boyfriend John, who she heard that there were rumors that he was in Raccoon City. While we compare this to the new Resident Evil 2 Remake's version, where we see both her and Leon make their way outside the RPD's underground parking lot, where she gives us players some exposition on her mission.
Well, what exactly are you looking for?
More info on the people responsible for this mess.
But the thing that stands out with this new RE2 Remake's version of Ada is that she is much more forthcoming with her intentions. Also, she appears not to shy away from her plans and openly tells Leon about it, where this is already a stark contrast from her plans and persona in the original Resident Evil 2, where she tries to hide the fact that she was a spy who was working with a separate organization with her main objective is to retrieve a sample of the G virus. Anyways, the gameplay trailer continues on, and we see Leon and Ada make their way into the sewer entrance, while she reveals a lot of information about the Umbrella Corporation, where Ada also states to Leon that the Umbrella Corporation is a pharmaceutical company who is secretly creating bioweapons, and that she's looking for a scientist named Annette Birkin who is responsible for unleashing the virus. Eventually, the two arrive at the sewer entrance, which is a very different way from how they make it there compared to the original Resident Evil 2, where they first meet up with Ben in the jail area and make their way into the sewers after defeating the G-Mutant. But going back to the new Resident Evil 2 Remake's version, we see both Leon and Ada traverse through the inner workings of the new sewer area, and we even get a quick glimpse of the giant alligator.
What the hell?
God only knows what's down here.
But after a little bit more exposition, we finally see our protagonist come face to face with Annette Birkin, where both Leon and Ada try to apprehend the scientists. Eventually, with some minor distractions, Annette was able to get away from our protagonist and cause a gunshot wounded Leon due to Ada trying to chase after her. We can make a quick snapshot of this event and compare the original Resident Evil 2 to the new Remake's version and see the subtle differences between the two games. Because in the original RE2, we still have yet to figure out Ada's true intentions and as to why she would blindly chase after Annette compared to the RE2's Remake's version, where she openly states,
We're here for the G virus. That's not gonna happen.
This of course is then followed with another difference where we see Ada speak with someone over a walkie-talkie, but we couldn't make out what the other person was saying or who she was talking to.
If it's not on her, it must be in the nest.
But it was known later on in the Resident Evil series that Ada was actually working for a rival organization, Umbrella, under the direct order of Albert Wesker himself. Anyways, in this new Resident Evil 2 Remake's version, it was very nice to have Ada show some sympathy towards Leon, especially after taking a bullet for her, where she leaves him with her coat and finally reveals her infamous red dress. Anyways, this would finally lead us to some of Ada Wong's gameplay footages, where she traverses through the new environment of the sewer area, where she fights off many zombies. Navigating through this Remake's environment will be interesting while fighting the hordes of monsters in it. Well anyway, Ada will also eventually have an encounter with a terrifying Mr. X, where we see this tyrant pursue after her.
Persistent bastard, aren't you?
The good thing though is that during the gameplay trailer, we get to see Mr. X's weakness, and that's if you shoot him in the face, he would stagger enough to allow us players to navigate around the tyrant. It's great to see the developers from Capcom added this boss encounter with Mr. X in the sewers, giving us more tension from the tyrant as we explore this new environment. Anyways, if you guys want a more in-depth look at Mr. X, please feel free to check out my video on this tyrant. I'll leave a card on the top right section of your screen so you guys can check it out. Anyways, back to Ada. While dealing with Mr. X, we see her continually use one of her new items, which allows her to electronically manipulate the equipment of her environment and tinker with their inner workings, which would cause it to eventually break down. A perfect example of this is when she uses it on a large vent fan and causes it to rapidly spin until it explodes. But anyway, the Ada Wong gameplay trailer concludes with both her and Annette having another altercation, which this whole event plays much different compared to the original Resident Evil 2, where both women are face to face with each other and ends with Annette falling down over the railing after taking a hit from Ada.
Too bad.
But in the new Resident Evil 2 Remix version, we see Annette control what looks like a giant crane of some sort and attempts to hit Ada with it, which eventually would cause Ada to fall over the railing into the pit and be impaled on her thigh. Eventually, this would cause her to faint due to the trauma.
Where's Leon when I need him?
Anyways, there's one part of the dialogue with Annette that I found interesting in the new Remix version, and that she doesn't deny that she attempted to kill William so that she can take credit for the G-Virus when accused by Ada.
Is your husband still alive? Or did you kill him so you could take credit for G?
Interesting theory.
Which is a stark contrast from her original Resident Evil 2's version, where she clearly holds William in high regard, stating that the G-Virus is her husband's legacy. Also, it was at this moment in the original RE2 that Annette reveals to Leon that Ada was a spy, sent to retrieve a sample of the G-Virus, but Leon obviously wouldn't believe the scientist, denying Ada would do such a thing.
Ada wouldn't do something like that.
If you don't want to believe it, I don't really care. You're about to die anyway.
Overall, I found the subtle changes that the developers from Capcom made interesting, and that they not only made changes to the characters, to the environment set pieces, but also to the storyline as well, changing how Leon arrives at the sewers, to the way Ada presents her personality in a much more forward way, and also revealing to Leon her mission and her plans to retrieve the G-Virus from Annette Birkin. This makes me wonder how they'll change the storyline set up for the new remake, because clearly it doesn't follow the original Resident Evil 2 in exact precision, but changing the set pieces to the plot, because we see the differences with Ada's interactions and encounters with Annette and Mr. X in the sewer, which is something new, because us longtime Resident Evil 2 fans have a general idea of what happens to Ada from the original version of RE2, whether it be from scenario A, where she's mortally wounded by Annette at the Umbrella secret lab and eventually falls to her supposed death.
Goodbye.
To her face-to-face altercation with Mr. X and succumbing to the injuries that she was dealt with by the tyrant in scenario B. So with the new Resident Evil 2 remake just around the corner, it makes me wonder which storyline they'll have Ada follow and how they'll go about it, because whatever changes they make now from this point of the series, it will surely affect the upcoming Resident Evil titles they'll release in the future. But anyways, in the end, Ada appears to be a much more fleshed out character in this new RE2 remake compared to her original Resident Evil 2's version, and I'm excited to see what's more in store with her and her dealings with Leon and the many other characters and obstacles they both have to go through. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my What's New with Ada Wong gameplay analysis video. I hope you guys enjoyed my quick breakdown of the character and the subtle changes that surround Ada Wong in this new Resident Evil 2 remake. Also, if you guys noticed anything else that was different with Ada or any portion during our gameplay trailer, please feel free to share it on the comment section down below. I'd love to see different discussions about the new RE2 remake. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. As always, you guys have a great rest of your day, and this is Hey Deva signing out.